People, what's good, what's good? How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe, onwards and upwards to 50,000 subs. I think we're going to get there by the end of the year, which is pretty damn good. So thank you so much to all of you that have recently subscribed. Your boy's been busy this week, man. Busy. You know, when you look at your schedule and you honestly think, how are we going to get through this? How is it possible to do all this? And we're at the final hurdle. Got a bit of talk sport to do tonight, and then we head up to Newcastle for the Josh Kelly card, and then we can breathe for a couple of days, and then we're off to Nashville, and then we're doing Vegas, and then we're doing Texas, and then we're doing AJ, Dillian White. That all happens in like 4 weeks, which is crazy. This was the worst time to pick to do the weight cut, but no excuses. We're still doing it. We're getting sessions in. Even at 5, 6 in the morning, no excuses. Very quickly, before we have a look at what there is to talk about, I'm doing a giveaway, a trainer giveaway, just to say thank you for everyone that helped the channel get to 45,000 subs. The video is up now, showing you how you can win the trainers. Let me quickly show you the trainers very quickly. Which ones are these? So these, a pair of Air Max, they're all size 9, by the way. We're giving one of these away, a pair of Air Max. Let me just get the trainers. These are really cool. Air Jordan Zoom. These are beautiful. I love these. I don't know what I'm doing giving these away. Give one of those away. And final ones. Another Air Jordan Retros. So yeah, those are the 3 trainers that you can win. In order to do it, go to the video that I've just put up, and good luck. We're going to try and post them out. And in fact, not try it. We will announce a winner on Monday, and we're going to post the trainers out on Monday. Or if you live in London, you can come and collect them in person. But yeah, good luck. And again, it's just a small token of my appreciation for us getting to 45,000 subs. All right, what is there to talk about today? We ain't done a video in a couple of days, so there must be loads. Frank Warren bristles at Fury Ngannou criticism, touts it as a massive event. It is a massive event. It's going to do really good numbers. It is. I mean, when it was announced, I think Fury was trending #1 and Ngannou #2. It's going to bring over the boxing fans and the MMA fans. It's going to do good numbers. It's not going to do Floyd Conor numbers, but it's going to do over 1 million pay-per-view buys, I think. I think people are intrigued. I think people will look at it as somewhat of a spectacle. Even me, as a hardcore boxing fan, that's like, this is rubbish. Still going to watch it. We'll pay for it. So, yeah, look, it's a massive event. But Frank Warren also needs to understand why some, including myself, have critiqued it. He needs to understand that. We're not going to get into it again. I've already done the video, but Tyson Fury is the #1 heavyweight on the planet. He should be fighting a fellow boxer. We wanted to see Fury Usyk. We didn't ask for Fury Ngannou. Fury Ngannou would have been so far down the list of my wants. There would have been about 20 other boxers I'd have preferred to have seen Fury fight before it even got to an Ngannou discussion or situation. But I understand the economics. I mean, you're going to make a bucket load of money. And I've said this, I'm very happy for Ngannou because I saw an interview of his manager and Ariel Helwani, and his manager said that Ngannou's about to make more money. And I said this, didn't I? He's about to make more money for this one fight with Tyson Fury than he did for his whole UFC career. I think his final fight with the UFC, he got paid $600,000. This fight, we're hearing he's going to make around $8 million. So well done to everyone. Derek James won't make Jamel pack on the pounds for Canelo clash. Want him to be fast. Yeah, makes sense. Honestly, it makes sense. There's no point trying to sort of just go up. Like, I don't think you can go up like that. I think it takes time to add that much extra weight and be comfortable with that weight. Some will say, yeah, but he's got his walk around weight, which he's used to. There's a difference between your walk around weight and your fighting weight, right? So, yeah, I think he should just, I mean, what's the fight's at 168? As long as you're over 160, you're a super middleweight. So I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in 165, 166. I don't think he's going to hit 168. How much time, and look, there are obviously other trainers in camp. It's not just Derek James. I'm sure there's 3 or 4 other trainers there, but Derek James is the main man. How much time are all of these top fighters he's got getting with Derek James? Be interesting to know. Like, I do think, I do believe, in fact, I know that AJ is flying out to Vegas. Obviously, Errol Spence is there. He's flying out to Vegas because that's where Errol's finishing his camp, just to make sure that he's getting some time with Derek James. You've got Jamel that will obviously want his time with Derek James. Frank Martin fights very, very soon. He's going to want his time with Derek James. Ryan Garcia is there. No fight announcement, but he's going to want his time with Derek James. Man, sometimes it is good to be the head honcho. I mean, you look at Canelo, and although there were other fighters there, and I'm guessing all these fighters left because they weren't getting time. Remember, there was a time when that Canelo camp included Andy Ruiz, Frank Sanchez, Ryan Garcia, Julio Cesar Martinez, I think, still there. It was packed. They've all eventually gone because maybe they didn't get enough time with the trainer. Maybe. Just what I'm thinking. Crawford, after Spence fight, critics will eat their words and give me respect I rightfully deserve. As this fight draws nearer, I just think we're going to see a master showpiece win from Crawford. Could be wrong, obviously. I mean, no one's going to be 100% correct on their predictions on this. But I think Crawford's going to do something special. And it's the more I think I hear from boxers, not from people like myself, pundits and broadcasters. When boxers say it, like I've listened to every boxer, and I haven't yet heard one boxer, apart from obviously the boxers in Errol's camp, I haven't heard yet one boxer think Errol's going to win. It's like they see what Terence can do. They've watched him over the years. It could be a case of maybe even watching his sparring sessions or sparred with him, and they all seem to give Crawford a very, very good chance. Either way, I think it's going to be fantastic. Joe Smith, if he had it his way, he would be facing Anthony Yard next. Shout out to the Undefeated Podcast guys who got Anthony Yard in studio. That's great. It's good to see. I feel like fighters prefer being on those type of platforms as opposed to, you know, the traditional platforms. And well done to those. I'd love to see that fight. I don't think Tunde's going to do that. Tunde's always been smart with Anthony Yard in terms of the matchmaking. Joe Smith's a very, very heavy-handed puncher. I'm not trying to say I don't think Anthony could beat him, because I do. I think Anthony could win that fight. But I don't know. You weigh up the risk-reward, and Joe Smith doesn't have a belt. I don't know if there's that much money in the fight. I don't know if he'll take it. I have a feeling that Anthony Yard, I don't know what his situation is, his contract situation, but I have a feeling he might be in the Bivol sweepstakes. He might be. Some people might not like that. Bear in mind, he's coming off a defeat, but I have a feeling his name is in the mix. Sauerland plans to pursue domestic blockbusters for Josh Kelly. Yeah, when I interviewed Kalle Sauerland, I'm obviously going up there tomorrow, but I interviewed him yesterday for DAZN. I was up in Newcastle, and yeah, I said to him, I kind of sort of put forth the idea of sort of the world scene, which he said, you know, Josh Kelly can do, but he also mentioned the domestic scene as well. And he mentioned a few names. Obviously, Conor Benn was one of the names. Eubank Smith. He also mentioned Kell Brook as a potential fight for Josh Kelly as well. So, yeah, we'll see. Dan Aziz confirms that he signed contract for Joshua Buatsi. Okay, that fight's going to happen. Hey, I just saw, by the way, as well, that Chris Eubank Jr. announced that he is fighting Liam Smith September O2 Arena. So that's good back-to-back for boxer. Obviously, if they get this one, that's a big one. Dan Aziz Buatsi, which I believe is happening in August. And then you get Eubank versus Liam Smith September, which is big. Obviously, this leads on to the next thing now, Conor Benn. We were hearing for the longest of times that it was going to be Conor Benn, Eubank Jr., whether it be in Abu Dhabi or over here. Conor Benn had his hearing with the British Boxing Board of Control on Monday. For Chris to announce this, I'm guessing that hearing hasn't gone well for Conor. I'm guessing there's maybe been a ban. We don't know yet, but that's the only thing. I think Chris would have got more money fighting Conor. In fact, definitely more money fighting Conor than Liam. So for Chris to announce this, I think he already knows the outcome of the Conor Benn hearing, or at least his team does. So yeah, interesting. I saw this the other day. You guys saw it as well. Teofimo Lopez calling out Devin Haney. Teofimo Lopez isn't retiring. That was the shortest retirement in the history of the sport. I mean, there's been some short ones, but that was short. He isn't retiring, and he's called out Devin Haney for a clash at 140. Devin Haney was thinking of going to 140 anyway for the Regis Prograis fight. And it did get me thinking about Devin Haney. I mean, he's in a fantastic position right now. Fantastic. Not only is he the man, and he is because he's got all the belts at 135, but now he's in a situation where he's got at least 4 fighters calling him out. And all of those fights are big money fights. Big money fights, all of them. And the 4 fighters obviously are Vasily Lomachenko, who wants that fight. And he's petitioning to the governing bodies to put him in a situation where he is mandatory for that fight. Shakur Stevenson has said, you know what, fuck that. I can't agree with you. I'm going to the WBC and I'm going to make sure that WBC? I don't know what belt it was, sorry. But I'm going to whoever and putting myself as mandatory, which he can. You got Regis Prograis that's saying, look, I will give you the fight at 140. And now you got Teofimo Lopez saying, you know what, I will welcome you to the 140-pound division. That is 4 big names, 4 big fights. So if you're Devin Haney right now, I mean, you're putting those fights on the table and you're working out, which one gives you the biggest reward? Not just money, but reward, belts, you know, prestige, resume. Which one is that? And you're planning it out. You're planning it out. This is a fantastic opportunity. So let's do it. Which one is the biggest financially? What's the biggest fight out there for Devin Haney? Remember, the 4 are Regis Prograis, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, and Vasily Lomachenko. Obviously, the riskiest one for me, the one where I don't think he can win. Look, all of them are risky, by the way. By the way, he doesn't walk into any of these fights as a big favorite. 3 of them, you might say, he doesn't walk into as favorite at all. I'm not lying. The Loma one is the one where you could maybe just edge to him, maybe. Bear in mind, a lot of people think Loma, including myself, beat him. I don't know. But Shakur Stevenson, he doesn't walk into his favorite. Teofimo Lopez at 140, I do not think he walks into his favorite. And Regis Prograis, maybe 50-50. So, okay, so which one pays the most money? What's the bigger? If they were all on pay-per-view, what does the biggest pay-per-view numbers? I think it's Shakur Stevenson. This is where you have to have a good manager to weigh out the risk reward. Shakur definitely pays the most, but that risk, boy, is big. I think the second one that pays the most is Teofimo Lopez. You know, the thing is, these are the 2 fights where I think he loses. These are the 2. Again, you have to weigh up the risk reward. I think that does the second in terms of biggest numbers. The third, I think, is Regis. I think Regis will sell the fight quite well. And I think we've seen the Loma one now. I think that there's an intrigue there with Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis didn't look good in his last fight, but there's an intrigue there. And then Loma. He's got a lot of thinking to do. What I guess we can't accept is if it isn't one of those 4. You're undisputed, dude. You're now a pound for pounder. You're making good money. It has to be one of those 4. It can't be a step backwards. It can't. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Devin Haney does. But boy, oh boy, he does have options. What's this? Anthony Joshua. We're not fighting regularly enough. Us fighters getting treated too well. Interesting. It's true. The very top in that heavyweight division aren't fighting enough. This will be Usyk's first fight in a year coming up. Deontay Wilder's not fought since Hellenius. I don't even know when that was. Can't remember. But it's a long time ago. And that was only a round. Remember? It lasted a round. Andy Ruiz hasn't fought since Ortiz. When the hell was that fight? 1 second. When the hell was Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz? That was that, wait, am I reading that right? Yeah, the 4th of September 2022. So basically, he's going to be out for a year because he ain't fighting before September, is he? Do you know what I mean? Fury hasn't fought since Chisora. He's going to fight Ngannou. No one's fighting enough. I did a really good sit down with AJ the other day, by the way. Proud of myself. I think this is probably my best work. Serious. Hopefully you guys see it very, very soon. It was like nearly an hour sit down. Very open and honest. I'll give you a little sneak peek. I said to him, what was your biggest defeat? Which one hurt the most? And he said the Usyk 2. And he got very emotional talking about it. Very emotional. So yeah, look, you guys will watch it and tell me what you think. Jamal Charlo, I think this is true, by the way. After Canelo fights my brother, he has to fight me. I think they're probably, for Jamal to kind of, if you like, give it to Jamel, I do think there probably is something in the contract but that's also very interesting. But I'll get to the point I'm thinking about in my head. But yeah, I think there's something in the contract that says that. The reason I say it's interesting is Jamal basically saying he thinks his brother loses? Because would he want to fight Canelo if Canelo loses? Still a big fight, but not the same fight, is it? So I wonder if he's already thinking, my brother's about to get his ass whooped, and then I will give it a go. All right, anything else? Okay, Andy Ruiz, we'll end on this one. Andy Ruiz amped for Deontay Wilder's showdown. This fat chubby kid is about to humble your ass. Does that mean the fight's on? It's the only fight both of them can really have. I mean, there's other ones, but the other ones are far too risky for both. I think this fight just makes sense for both. But let's see. Let's not hold our breaths, because this is heavyweight boxing, and we've been holding our breath for a long time. The rest of boxing is treating us well. Heavyweight boxing, not so well. Peace and love.